Welcome to another episode of Vastu with Rshmi. My name is Alka Aneja and I have here with me Rshmi Kumar. She's going to give us tips to tweak our life so that we can have a smoother, a pleasanter, just a little bit more happier life.
Thank you, Alka, for having me over.
Thank you, Rshmi. Rshmi, we have gotten in lots of emails from the audience about relationships with their children, with the society the way it is today, very gadget prone, very social media, Facebook. Kids can't seem to take their faces away from the gadget, from the internet, from their iPhones. And so they have very less face-to-face time with their parents. We also got another person who wrote to us and said, I have this aggressive boss in my business and in my office, and I can't seem to get anything passed through that person.
Okay.
So I'll go through more relationships. We just kind of club them all together. But talk to us about how Vastu can help with relationships.
Vastu plays a very big role because how we gel with somebody, what kind of thoughts we are giving to others, because again, it's our body language in which we talk, we are getting a response in the same way. Now, going back to the same concept that Vastu is the blueprint of your subconscious mind. If you need the right thoughts at the right time, if your Vastu is balanced, you will be able to get that. Having a harmonious relationship with everybody involved. It might be your kids, it might be your parents, it might be your husband, or even your boss. Having good relationship with everybody, Vastu plays a big role by making sure that your 5 elements are balanced in your house. Now, if you see people who have a very aggressive kind of a behavior, right? They normally have a fire element imbalance in their house. So they get very agitated over simple issues in life. Now, what we are looking for is more understanding, being good listeners, and we are trying to understand what other person is trying to say. We normally see people cutting off each other, or there is
road rage.
Yes, and there is a lack of understanding, like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, or those understandings that come into even a couple or even with the in-laws. It all depends on how your elements are balanced in your house.
So what about, you talked about aggressive nature of the person, but what if you are the quote-unquote victim of that aggressive nature, right? Where your boss is aggressive, and you are now not being able to say your own viewpoint, or your viewpoint is not given the credence that it warrants. What happens then?
So in this case, we are talking about major 2 issues. One is we are looking for a support from them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the second thing that we are talking about is getting the recognition for our work.
That's right. Yes.
So once a person gets recognized for the efforts they are putting in, they are also happy and they don't mind if a boss says one more additional work to them, right?
That's right. You feel more fulfilled.
Yeah. So we are looking for the social connections. We are also looking for the support. Now, if I bring back to you the zones that I was talking about. So there is a zone specifically in the East which governs for the social connections. If that is getting hindered, you will not be able to communicate or give the right kind of messages to others, and you might end up getting into a lot of miscommunications, or you're not able to gel along well with others. And that also you can see by the amount of, if you see that your friend circle is going down day by day, right? Oh, I used to meet them very often, now I don't end up meeting. There is some issue there. Also with the with office colleagues or with the boss, there is a support zone in the Northwest, which helps you bring in the right kind of equation between them. And it can be done with simple techniques by putting their name in a certain direction.
The same type of frame that we were talking about?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So if you put in their picture in a certain direction, or you even put the company logo in a certain direction, you start getting a support of that particular company.
Okay.
So it depends. So there are multiple things. So you don't just go ahead and put that picture and say, now I'll get the support. It all completely boils down to, is your house Vastu compliant? I mean, and say, are the 5 elements balanced in your house? Is your house having good energies? If there is a fire in the water zone, then there is an imbalance. So by putting a picture there, you are still agitated.
Right.
You have not fixed yourself, but you're hoping that somebody else will still understand you. That doesn't work, right?
Right.
So if you bring in the balance, making sure that you're not getting agitated most of the times, you are able to understand others' viewpoint, will give you the right thoughts. Oh, I need to listen to this idea before I react.
So you need to listen versus hearing.
Yeah.
It makes it more conducive to that.
Exactly. So it giving you the right equation, right blend, that, oh, I need to listen now, and then you ask for support. Or what if I should include this coworker in this particular project, which will help me get this problem solved? So which will impress my boss too.
Got it.
Right? So at the end of it, the problem needs to get resolved.
That's right.
So it can be resolved by Vastu.
And Vastu gives you that little tweak to kind of to take your mind in the right direction and put you in the right frame of mind to handle it better.
Exactly. And now that bringing to the initial thing that you mentioned, right? Relationships with everybody is again the same equation, that how much are we able to listen to others, how much we are let going their negativity, or are we letting go of their shortcomings? Not everybody is perfect, and everybody has their own shortcomings. So if we are able to deal with their shortcomings and making sure we only focus on the positive points and able to get that, along with the blend saying that we have made sure our house is balanced. And all this is all related to Vastu. To getting that kind of a let go, there is a zone for let go. If you're not able to balance that zone, you will see that some people stay with the problem for years together.
They harbor resentment.
Yeah, and then they end up into even depression, because now they are also sleeping in a zone of depression and not able to let go. That means they are like a victim kind of a situation which you were talking about. So let go plays a big role. So there is a zone just for the let go part. So if you can let go, there is also a zone for freshness. There is a zone between the northeast and the east, which brings in freshness in the relationship. So if you want to bring in some freshness in your life, putting flowers in a certain directions, right? In that direction.
Fresh flowers.
Fresh flowers in that direction will bring in, or keeping even a fruit basket there will bring in the freshness in your life. So.
And what about children? We were talking about parents with children. Children with other children, but let's talk about parents first, because the lack of face-to-face communication that this generation is facing is extremely nerve-wracking. So what is it the parents can do to have more FaceTime with their, well, not face-to-face time with their kids, not FaceTime with their kids.
But see, it all goes down to how much quality time we are able to spend with them. With kids, it's so easy that if it is a smaller kid, it's even easier. You spend with them even half an hour of quality time goes a long way. With elder kids, even having those small conversations, those help. Now, from Vastu point of view, right? Giving them the right thought process. Right? They just look at us and they learn from us. Whatever we do is what they mimic. And you start seeing the glimpse of yourself in the kids. So if we are angry all the time, or we have an anxiety issue all the time, you will see that the response also from the kid is in the same way. But if you are able to not have that blaming the child for everything, or going in that vicious circle that they have to listen to you, but you are not able to give them a good listening ear, it is going to come back. So now the zones that are responsible mainly for that is, if it's the woman of the house, we normally look at the southeast corner of the house. If for the kids,
so if the
it's
kids
the
are not having face-to-face, if they're not getting along with the woman of the house, it's southeast?
So means it can be any woman in the house. If there's a woman of the house who are having problems with each other, it can be the girls with the
two sisters.
Then it might be even the southeast. If the daughter is having an issue, it can be the north. If the son is having an issue, it'll be the center of the house too. So it's like different areas of the house are being governed or being assigned to a different, based on the elements. It's governed for a different purpose. So relationships as a whole, the southwest is governing it.
I see.
But all these areas, right? If we are doing the basic balancing of that house, as in, I am not putting a big, huge mirror in the southeast corner of my house, which will just bring in too many fights between the women in the house. Or if I have like a waterfall thing, a water fountain in my southwest, I'm just bringing in too much downfall in the. So it's the small elements we don't even realize that we are adding into the house, but it is actually impacting that zone.
Wow.
So simple technique, and it is just arranging these, right? Everything signifies an element.
Right. It's just placement of things.
It's just placement of the things. Putting in like darker curtains in the southwest. Like if I put like red curtains in the southwest of my house, I'm going to definitely see this continuous friction within my family. Even sharp objects. So it can be anything. But now I don't want viewers to go ahead and start looking for those things and finding out the thing. If you have an issue, and if you are thinking that something doesn't seem right, that you are trying the best but you're not getting the solutions for it, then they can just consult to find out, okay, what is that area in my house? Why am I having a friction with only this person in the house while I'm able to get along with everybody else?
Right. So if you're on track, no reason to fix it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But if there are issues, then talk to someone like Rshmi. Figure out what simple solutions can help you get a harmonious relationship within the family. But is there a generic mat or color or something that can go and have a harmonious life so that we get along with everybody? Obviously nobody can get utopia, but to have a simple solution. Rshmi, is there one?
Okay, it's not like one size fits all
Yes.
kind of a thing. So definitely the astro chart plays a role, like what particular direction suits them. For example, now if somebody is sleeping in the east of the house, now east and west are like completely opposite directions in their characteristics also, right? I said like east is a air element and west is the fire, the space element. Like east is a air element and this west is a space element. Now the characteristics of these two are completely opposite. Now I have my my kids sleeping in the east and I sleeping in the west. The template that we are downloading is going to be completely different, right? The way of their approach is going to be different. The way I approach the problem is going to be different. In this case, we need to look at the complete scenario along with the astro. What is the direction that suits that person the best to interact with others?
Right.
Right? It is always easy to fix yourself than going ahead and fixing 10 other people.
Obviously.
Right?
Obviously. Yep.
So that's where I'm coming to. It's like I'm saying, okay, I'm having problems with so many people. Is there something that I can do about it? First thing is, you look at yourself,
Yes.
you try to analyze as to where is the problem. Am I getting too emotional? Am I getting too frustrated? Am I not able to have that kind of patience? Right? It can be solved through Vastu. That particular element can be balanced.
Right.
And so now I don't want the viewers to go ahead and start analyzing and fixing it on their own. There are simple techniques. You do not have to start changing the house. Might be this is the problem, might be that is the problem.
Well, because if you change something, you may take away the balance, right?
Exactly.
So that there is a core, that it's the holistic picture.
Yes.
It's not like a little side-by-side thing. You have to do the whole thing. And that's why you can't just do one part of it.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done as
it needs to
a whole.
We don't want to create an imbalance in the whole house,
Yes.
right? We need to only fix the area which is causing a problem with simple other tweaks here and there, which will make sure that the stability remains the same.
Right.
If we start ahead and going and changing the whole thing, we are creating an imbalance by itself.
Right.
But again, to the decluttering part, that was always going to help to remove the negativity.
Yeah, that's a basic thing of
Basic thing.
Yeah.
But now going back to the point that if I'm not able to get along with 10 other people, am I not able to let go of it? There is a let go zone very close to the south, between south and southwest. That particular zone will help you let go of your feelings or grudges and stuff like that. So there are certain activities that can be done in that direction. Even a trash can sometimes helps in that direction.
Oh, really?
So you are letting go. You are removing the clutter from your mind. So even a trash can help. So it is. I'm not saying like you have to go ahead and start building things there. It is just simple things you keep there. If you can't keep a trash can in the center of your living room, there are different other ways to keep it. You can keep a certain color vase in it, an empty vase. So I'm talking about very simple techniques, if you understand what I'm trying to. It's like you don't have to go.
And that's what I like about this technique, right? Because it's not scary. It's not overwhelming. It's not destructive. It's very simple. It's fixed easily, and it's after. But you have to understand the whole picture. You don't want to fix one thing only to mess up something else.
Yes.
Right. So someone has to have that balance. Is so important. I'm a Libran, so for me this balance works out really well because I do think life has to be a balance.
Yes.
And if it's not balanced, then it just doesn't.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So in this case, right? So that is just one example. Now, if somebody is feeling the victim, right? You talk to a person, then you realize that they do play a victim card again and again. That this is all happening to me, and I am the person who is getting blamed for it. Yeah, why me? Actually, these people, I definitely, either they are spending too much time into a zone of weeping, which is very close to the northwest, between west and northwest. Either they are spending too much time in it, where they always play the victim card, or they should act, if they are not spending at all, then they need to be at least spending a little time there. So it depends on your situation. If you're not playing a victim, but you are like people having arthritis, like they are holding their feelings again and again. So then in that case, they should sit in this zone. So it depends exactly what the problem is. It's not like, it's like a one solution for all. So depending on what it is.
And we are going to be talking about illnesses in another episode, right? This is more of a relationship episode, but some illnesses like arthritis and stuff, we will be talking in another episode as well.
Yeah, so but in this case, if the person is playing too much victim, then stop spending time there. If a person is not able to let go of their feelings, then there are these zones where you spend little time, and you at least like 10-15 minutes in a day will help you revive yourself and let go of that feeling.
Right.
So it's I know there is a lot of other gurus who have come in and who has talked about let go, right? Mainly they're talking about what? You should be able to let go. You should be able to live in harmony with others.
Yeah, forgive and forget.
That is the crux of it. We just want to make sure that the environment that is built up in the house is supporting that feeling.
That's right.
Right? You will watch all these episodes about how to be harmonious with others. But if you're spending your too much time into a wrong zone, it is not going to give you that support. Like the next day you will be back to doing the same thing which you wanted to let go the other day.
Yeah, your environment Vastu makes the environment conducive to the behavior you want.
Yes, it makes sure that at least whatever you are thinking through gets to the fruits. You get the fruits for it. You're not just trying. You try one day, you let go. There has to be a perseverance. There has to be a persistent effort to be made in that direction. So it's all based on that.
Right. And if you have any questions, there's an email address that's flowing through in our emails on the bottom of the screen. Email us. We'll be happy to answer those for you. And we get a lot of the emails, and we appreciate the response that everybody's giving, and that it's helping people. So we appreciate that. Give us a call or email us, and we'll be happy to answer your questions again. This is Alka Aneja signing off with Rshmi Kumar. Thank you for watching us at Vastu with Rshmi.